Tangled Up in Blue.
Tangled up in blue.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Bob Dylan songs.
Don't get up, gentlemen, I'm only passing through.
For this list, we've chosen our entries based on a combination of the artist's fan favorites and their most commercially successful songs.
I am a man of constant sorrow. I've seen trouble all of my days.
Number 10, Knockin' on Heaven's Door. Part of the soundtrack for the Western Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid,
Mama takes this badge off me.
which Dylan even had a bit acting part in, this folk rock and gospel tune tells the story of a dying sheriff.
I'ma wipe the blood out of my face. I just can't see through it anymore.
Peaking within the Billboard Hot 100's top 20, the simple but bitterly poetic melody has also inspired cover versions by Eric Clapton,
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
Guns N' Roses, U2, and countless others.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
And what do you do now, my darling young one?
Number 9, A Hard Rain's A Gonna Fall.
I'm going back out for the rain starts to fall in.
One of his most episodic songs, this 7-minute-long entry from Dylan's breakthrough album seems at first to consist of a series of tales from a distant past.
I saw highway diamonds with nobody on it. I saw a black branch with blood that kept dripping.
But as the verses unfold, the imagery becomes increasingly apocalyptic and begins to read more as a warning from the future.
Where the pellets of poison are flooding their waters.
Indeed, a month after the song's debut, the U.S. became engulfed in the Cuban Missile Crisis, making it perhaps a bit too on the mark.
And it's hard rains are gonna fall.
Number 8, All Along the Watchtower.
There must be some way out of here, said the joker to the thief.
Perhaps the most famous of his songs to become popularized by other artists.
I can't get no relief.
Dylan's original version of All Along the Watchtower appeared on the John Wesley Harding album several months before Jimi Hendrix's electric cover. However, Dylan's version is still a classic.
There are many here among us who feel that life is but a joke.
With his shrieking harmonica and some of the most impactful imagery of any of his songs.
So let us not talk falsely now. The hour is getting late.
Like many Dylan tracks, it has been called an anti-war statement. But also like many of his songs, you could never really prove it.
All along the watchtower, princes kept the view.
Number 7, Mr. Tambourine Man.
Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy, and there is no place
With allusions to being numb and put under a spell, this song is often considered a metaphor, if a poetic one, for a drug deal.
I have no one to meet, and the ancient empty streets too dead for dreaming.
For his part, Dylan has gone on record saying that the folk number is actually about, well, a man who plays a tambourine.
And take me disappearing through the smoke rings of my mind.
Its abstract imagery allows for multiple and individual interpretations,
Frozen leaves, the haunted, frightened trees.
which is what makes it just as interesting nearly 50 years after its release.
Twisted reach of crazy sorrow.
Number 6, Positively 4th Street.
You got a lot of nerve. I say you are my friend.
Released as a single the same year as landmark albums Highway 61 Revisited and Bringing It All Back Home, this is one everyone can relate to.
You say you've lost your faith, but that's not where it's at.
At his best and bitterest, Dylan laces into a superficial friend. You know, the kind that loves you when you're on top, but is the first to disappear when things go south.
I know the reason that you talk behind my back.
He even goes so far as to sing,
When you know as well as me, you'd rather see me paralyzed.
That's pretty cold, Bob.
Why don't you just come out once and scream it?
Number 5, Subterranean Homesick Blues.
John is in the basement mixing up the medicine. I'm on the pavement thinking about the government.
Equally famous for its experimental music video, which first appeared in D.A. Penbaker's documentary Don't Look Back.
Look out, kid, it's something you did. God knows when, but you're doing it again.
This track sees Dylan cutting between issues of the times in his fevered, savant-like style.
Man wants $11 bills, you only got 10.
Often, but never easily imitated, the song draws on scat and R&B influences to create something truly iconoclastic.
20 years of schooling and they put you on the day shift. Look out, kid, they keep it all hid, better jump down.
And has taught young people for generations just exactly what and whom to look out for.
Don't want to be a bum, you better chew gum. The pump don't work cause the vandals took the handle.
Number 4, Tangled Up in Blue.
Early one morning the sun was shining. She was lying in bed, wondering if she changed it all, if her hair was still red.
The 70s marked a departure from earlier protest hymns to a focus on the personal lives of his subjects.
He had a job in Santa Fe, working in an old hotel, but he never did like it all that much, and one day it just went to hell. So he drifted down to New Orleans.
This Blood on the Track single captured the many twists and turns of two lives, which become repeatedly entwined.
But all the while he was alone, the past was close behind. He's seen a lot of women, but she never escaped his mind.
Ever reticent to be labeled the voice of a generation, Tangled Up in Blue still hits on something undeniably universal.
The only thing I knew how to do was keep on keeping on like a bird that flew, tangled up in blue.
As the baby boomers struggle to get a foothold in a new decade.
Tangled up in blue.
Number
3, Blowin' in the Wind.
How many roads must a man walk down before you call him a man?
One of Dylan's most earnest and straightforward songs, this one was released during the build-up to the Vietnam War and became a rallying cry of the anti-war movement throughout.
The answer, my friend, is a blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing.
Always the contrarian, Dylan insisted it was not a protest song.
How many years can a mountain exist?
Which was not a little ironic, considering it's widely recognized as the most important protest song of all time.
The answer, my friend, is blowing.
As well as a valuable civil rights anthem.
The answer is blowing.
Number 2, The Times They Are a-Changin'.
Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the water.
With escalation in Vietnam seemingly inevitable and the assassination of President Kennedy just months earlier, Dylan's folk masterpiece is both a message of hope and a warning.
Then you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone, for the times they are a-changin'.
While imagery like wheels in motion indicate that change is indeed inevitable, Dylan cautions that there will be consequences for those who stand in the way.
And don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin, and there's no telling who that it's naming.
struggle between old and new ways that defined so much of the decade was never more perfectly described.
And the first one now will later be last, for the times they are a-changin'.
Before we reveal our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Baby, make love just like the woman as he breaks like a little pillow.
Here comes the story of the hurricane, the man the authorities came to blame.
I said, she walked up to me so gracefully and took my crown of thorns. Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm.
My name, it ain't nothing. My age, it means less. The country I come from is called the Midwest.
I'm locked in tight, I'm out of range. I used to care, but things have changed.
Number 1, Like a Rolling Stone. From the moment the first organ riff sounded, everything changed. Lyrically derisive, and, as his early fans would claim, an outright betrayal. This song bridged the gap between folk and electric, between idol and villain, and between idealism and cynicism. To think it was booed upon its first live performance seems like pure insanity now. But the song represented Dylan's desire to keep growing as an artist, even if it meant leaving behind those who held him dearest. Do you agree with our list? Which Dylan songs are closest to your heart?
But don't think twice, it's alright.
For more iconic top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.